What's going on, Facebook, YouTube, social media, world? I'm your host, Cool Breeze, Justin Christie. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to Aftermath. We are talking all things that just happened this past weekend with Rage in the Cage 88 and Roll in the Cage 5. I'm going to try to get you guys some video clips. I just got sent the files just a few moments ago, so I haven't had a chance to really look through them and edit them or do anything with them. So bear with me on all that. I'm not sure what's happening on my end here. I can't see anything as far as video wise. I don't know if you guys can see me in the chat. Will you guys let me know if you guys still have video on y'all's end, because it just went black on mine. Not sure what's happening, but yeah, we're gonna see what we can do here. I got some. Okay, you can see me. That's awesome. That'll work. All right, cool, sweet. Well, we have a pretty good show for you guys today. We got a few grapplers that grappled on Roll in the Cage 5 going to join us. I've got Michael Mushu Hiltzman waiting in the wings. We're going to have Pax the Axe, who won his grappling match from Roll in the Cage 5. Later on, we're going to have Colton Ham, who was victorious in the main event of Rage in the Cage 88. And we should have Keegan Davidson going to be joining us after the 7 o'clock hour for Rage in the Cage 88 as well. He just won his match over Dan Henderson, goodness sakes, Dan Weber. I'm tired today. It was a long weekend. I'm not sure where my tag team partner, James Shelna, is. I was trying to call him. His phone went straight to voicemail a couple times. He's probably busy working. We will see. But yeah, man, I'm going to go over some of these results from Rage in the Cage 88 for y'all. Give me just a second. I'm going to pull that up for you. But until then, make sure you guys give us a like and subscribe to our channel. We're on the Fast Productions YouTube channel. We're on the Talk Before the Walk Facebook page as well. So make sure you follow that and subscribe, all that jazz. So that way you can be abreast of all of our content that we're putting out from these channels here. All right, so here's the results from Rage in the Cage 88, updated on the site by Kimber, the Rage in the Cage media director, Kimber Schaefer. Bout number 1, Michael Spiel won a unanimous decision over Gavin Fleck. Fight number 2, Jared Gallegos wins in a minute 50, round 1 by TKO strikes against Dylan Basinger. Dylan Sullivan won his match in 2 minutes 20 seconds of round number 1 by TKO ref stoppage against Tate Yondell. A kickboxing match in number 4, Nathan Urosi won in a minute 50 in round 1 by via knockout against Chad Warren. Definitely a candidate for a savage knockout of the night for sure. Bout number 5, Eli Buckner won in 25 seconds of round number 2 by guillotine choke versus Caleb Miller. That was a quick submission. Ojani McClinton won in 18 seconds of round number 2 by a KO head kick against Rusty Boyd. That was sick, man. That was awesome. Definitely a savage knockout. Definitely a huge candidate for savage knockout of the night as well. Dwight Brown won in 2 minutes 30 seconds of round number 1 via guillotine versus Jaleel Green. Bout number 8 was a kickboxing match. Nadia Moreno won a majority decision versus Chelsea Johnson. Bout number 9, Jeremy Goodman won in a minute 12 in round number 1 by rear naked choke versus Kason Minyard. Bout number 10, Wrangler Hicks wins in 1 minute 34 seconds of round number 1 by rear naked choke versus Kyler Smith. And he ended up getting the submission of the night on that one. Wrangler Hicks is getting his first victory inside the MMA cage, man. That was pretty good. Bout number 11 was a kickboxing match. Olin Learned wins in 1 minute 37 seconds of round number 1 by a KO head kick against Riley Sanford. That ended up getting a knockout of the night, savage knockout of the night from old Cool Breeze's performance picks of the night. Bout number 12, Keegan Davidson wins round one via TKO in 39 seconds, round number one, against Dan Weber. Uh, Bout number 13, our main event, pro main event. Colton Ham wins in 2 minutes 56 seconds of round number two by uh, submission due to a face crank against Tyson Southern. That was a man. That ended up being my fight of the night right there because it was a true gritty performance for both of those fighters. And you talk about some great striking from both of these guys, just absolutely phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And their ground game, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of defense, a lot of offense on both ends, and it was just really really good, really really good. So I'm really proud of all those guys. Um, well, without further ado, I think I'm going to bring up Mr. Mushu himself, Michael Hiltzman, and we're going to talk about his experience at Rolling the Cage 5. Michael, how you doing, buddy? Your mic is muted, by the way.
How's
There
it
we go.
going?
Going all right. Just so you know, you don't have to mute your mic when you're backstage. Nobody's going to be able to hear you
Sweet.
while you're back there. So yeah, it's not necessary. But
I didn't think anybody
yeah,
wanted to hear me
man,
yelling at my cats.
I wanted to hear that. Like, get angry at that pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a putty tat. No, man, you
It's
put on a
six.
damn good match at Rolling the Cage 5, man. I was so impressed with your performance. Tell me a little bit about how that all went down with you, man. Like, what was going on through your head through that match?
So my whole focus, I had one goal in mind. Is that I wanted to finish with a rear naked. I don't know why. Something was telling me that's what I wanted. So that's what my whole focus was on. And that opportunity only presented itself once. Um, Man, Johnny Nicholas. Oh my gosh, the guy can move. He kept me on my toes, and that was probably the best time of my life.
It was fun. It was fun, man. I was really impressed with a lot of your positioning and how, like, because he was scrambling. Like, he was scrambling hardcore, and you were able to land position after position after position and still like control that match. It was great. It was really fun to watch. But other than your match, who would you pick as grappling match of the night?
Oh man, there were so many just amazing matches, and the kids. Oh my god, the kids.
The kids were freaking awesome.
The kids
I
were
I
just
saw one kid land a Von Flu choke submission.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, just out of nowhere,
yeah, it was
out of
great.
nowhere. He
It was
yeah,
awesome.
he was in a position to be submitted, and then it's like, what the hell just happened? An
Yep.
amazing fucking night.
It was so fun, man. Those kids, I think, really put on top notch performances for that crowd, and you could tell that they were really feeling the energy of being in that cage versus going to a tournament and like there's so much going on all around you in the tournament, but being in that cage, you're the center of attention. Like, you feel like
Yes,
that big star. You feel like the UFC fighter. You feel like you're WWE wrestler at that point. Like you're right there in the middle, and you could see that those kids felt that. And I think
yes,
like that just brought the biggest smile to my face. I think there was one kid I was ring announcing. He went by the nickname Colt 45, and he was just like eating up the crowd, just like loving like all of it. And as soon as I announced his nickname, he just raised his arms in the air, just started jumping up and down, just super excited, the biggest smile on his face. And I'm like, this is great. This is what it's all about, right?
yes. They were having so much fun.
I loved it. I loved it. A little kid from Amarillo, the Ginger Ninja.
Oh my
That
gosh.
that
Yep.
kid's a little beast, man. I think he won his match by
Had
armbar.
his little fiery clothes on. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it was fiery and red everything. It was
yeah.
good, man.
Nasty armbar. Nasty armbar.
That kid was
Yeah.
kid's a little beast, man. I'm looking forward, and what I love the most about these guys, these little kids coming in here and grappling, they're getting this experience that like none of us ever got. Like when we were little, like we didn't get something this big, you know, as a kid, and
Mm-mm.
these kids are the next generation of our MMA stars, man. They're going to
Yep,
be the next generation of fighter
absolutely.
performers. You know, like some of them may go into like stunt acting work, especially here in Oklahoma. We got the film industry, you know, coming here
Yeah,
here to Oklahoma. There's so many opportunities for, you know, film work, for camera work, for doing all kinds of stuff, man. And watching these kids, you know, coming up this early, being as skillful as they are already, and getting opportunities like this to perform in front of a large crowd like that, they just it's just like top notch, man. I absolutely love it. They've all got a bright future ahead of them if they just keep it up. So yeah. So what's the energy like in at Conquest? You guys had a couple of hell of a good fights, man.
man, we've got our coaches are we've got amazing coaches. Um, the team is just amazing. We all work well together. We all work each other really hard. It's just it's home. It's my second home.
Oh yeah.
It's been that way for 3 years now. So
You guys had a couple of fighters fighting on Rage in the Cage
yeah,
88 too. Uh,
yeah,
didn't necessarily go their way, but you want to talk about some phenomenal performances from those guys. You know, tell me a little bit about those guys and how they came up, and you know,
man. It's those two kids are just they're tough. They've got a great kickboxing coach. Our jiu-jitsu coaches are great. I would love to see both of them doing MMA. That that would be great. Other than meeting them in the gym, I don't know much about them outside of the gym, but they're both great kids and they work really hard. They put in a lot of work to step in that cage, and it takes
ab-
heart. It takes heart. It
absolutely.
takes guts.
We got to watch Chad Warren, man. He and Nathan Urosti were really throwing down throughout
Man,
their fight, man. That was phenomenal. Like these two guys were just going like 90 to nothing. It was just
yeah,
like they were throwing the absolute hardest punches they freaking could, and just saying, "Give me more, give me more, give me more,"
and
and
they
that
were
was
both just eating them.
yeah, it was wild. I wouldn't say like it was the best defense in the world, but heart, they got it. They got it in
Yeah,
droves, and
yeah,
yeah, it was interesting seeing Chad. Because I got to interview him for the Rage in the Cage pre-fight interviews, and he was just super stoked that he got this opportunity to fight. Uh, and I'm happy for him. He had a moment. It didn't necessarily come out his way as far as like the fight itself, but the best part of it is he got to get out there and do something I think he loved.
yeah.
And
And we can't win them all. I've been in there grappling in the cage 4 times, lost the first three. Even if I lost this one, I was still gonna do it again because I
yeah,
love it. I absolutely
hell yeah.
love it.
You either win or you learn, and a
Yeah,
lot of times we'll take more lessons than victories.
yeah,
Uh, that's the same way. Whenever I teach my kids how to play chess, you're going to lose a lot when you are just learning how to play chess. You're not going to come in there and just beat the whole world every match, and you got to lose a lot to be able to become better at it. And that's just the way it is. Like whenever uh, martial arts is the same way. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to fall down a lot. It's just how many times you get back up,
yeah,
and that's what matters. The only difference is in competitions you fall down in front of a whole bunch of people.
yep.
you know and that's when you think it counts the most, and it kind of does, but like it doesn't matter that you fell. It matters how you
How
get
you get
back up
back up? Yeah,
every single time.
yeah. My
And go ahead.
I took something from all three of my first matches. You know, like Jordan Hayes. Oh my gosh, that kid just put it on me. The way he picked me up and slammed me in the beginning, I had no idea what was going on.
Hmm.
That was amazing. So I took that, then I used that one in my next one. When I went up against Paladin, I'm not very good at takedowns, so that was the only
Yeah,
thing I had. Jesse Dalton was a beast. He got me with that seated triangle, and so
Jesse has
I
some
worked
sick
on
jujitsu, man.
man. So I worked on defending triangles, and then when Paladin got my back and choked me, I've never been choked that fast in my life. And I worked on You know, the back take defense, and that's take something
Yeah.
from each one.
You just got to watch out with Jesse, man, because like he'll catfish you.
Oh man, he's
Wait, never mind. He's
he
into noodling. Never mind.
he
That's a
will
completely different thing.
go noodling.
He will go noodle. He
Yeah,
is a
he is
noodling
a
champion.
beast.
Like you want to talk about like a real like hardcore fisherman. Jesse Dalton, right there,
Yeah,
man. Like a lot of respect for that man. I want to go to his fish fries though. That's
beast
what
on
we
the
need.
mats and a beast in the water.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and if
Yeah,
he can catch a slippery big ass fish, I'm pretty sure he can catch a slick submission on somebody unsuspecting as well.
absolutely.
We'll try to see who else we can get up on here. I sent out my link to a few people. Hopefully, they're going to jump on soon rather than later. But yeah, until now, man, I'm nominating you as my co-host for this
All
show.
right.
Yeah, you're gonna hang out with me for a minute, unless you got something to do. You said you
Uh,
got training at 7.
for about 15 more minutes.
Okay, that's cool. That's
I'm
cool. Like, just hang out with
I'm
me.
already half dressed, so
There you go.
I already got the gi on. So
That's optimistic.
yeah.
You could be half undressed. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I
Which
was
one?
when I
Which
had my
one on
microphone
that one
muted.
would be more optimistic? Half dressed or half undressed?
Yes. The answer to that is yes.
Did you were there for the Rage in the Cage 88 card, right?
I was.
What'd you think of those fights, man?
Oh, every fight just kept me on the edge of my seat. Every
Mm-hmm.
one of them. And I'm at every show, and I love this. It's just it's
I love seeing you at every show, man. That's you're
I
one of my
love.
favorite people.
Well, a lot of people don't know, but like I'm a recovering meth addict. I'm
Mm.
super open about it. Just hit 6 years clean and sober, and it's like being around combat sports and jujitsu. It's what keeps me going. You know, jujitsu saved my life literally. If
How
jujitsu
long
is
how
my
long were
NA
you
meeting,
addicted to meth?
20 years.
20 years. That is a long time.
20
What
years of
got you
IV
started?
meth.
What got you started on meth?
Just hanging out with the wrong crowds when I was younger, and I just dug myself into a hole, and it took so long to get out of that hole. And then when I finally climbed out, my wife, she's there to riding with me, helping me stay sober, and things just started getting better. And I realized there's a better life out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I'm glad to see you're still here with us for one,
Yeah,
because that sobriety that fight right there is one of the hardest fights in the world, especially
it is.
being addicted as long as you had been.
Yeah,
So like I'm really glad you're here with us, brother. And I'm glad you found a
thanks.
bright
Me
path
too.
out of that hole. But
Yeah,
yeah, man, that's one hell of a fight. Proud of you, very proud of you.
thanks.
Glad to know you, man, for
I'm gonna
sure.
keep fighting
Hell yeah, it's a battle every day, man. It's a battle
every
every
day.
day. Yeah, like it I don't know. I really don't know what it's like to be sober, but I like from well to be sober from an addiction.
Okay.
Let me rephrase it. I'm like I'm high as fuck right now. No, I'm just no, but no, I don't know what it's like to recover from an addiction and try to stay sober, but I can imagine it could be pure hell a few every so often. But it's like a glorious feeling to be to beat that, but to
Hmm.
keep fighting that every day. Like the temptations, I'm sure, come back ever so often, and every time
It's
you fight that temptation is just yet another victory. So
Yep.
like, yeah, I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks.
How long have you been sober?
Let's see. Right at 6 years.
6 years. That is impressive. That is
Yeah,
impressive. We are proud of you, man.
6 years
Glad you
off the
found your
needle.
your new adrenaline with jujitsu and all that. So we're happy to
Yes.
have you, man.
Yes.
But hey, all of a sudden we got everybody popping on. We got everybody popping on now.
All
Heck
right.
yeah. Well, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm gonna bring on my man Pax the Axe and talk about his role in the cage match.
All right, brother.
But hey, enjoy
We'll
your
see you at
training
the next
tonight.
one.
Stay cool, brother.
See ya.
That was Michael Mushu Hiltzman, man, winning his match against Jonathan Nicholson. Man, that was a good was a good match. That was so good. But up next, I've got Pax the Axe training with James White Fitness over there in Norman. He came off with the victory as well. So please, without further ado, help me welcome Pax the Axe. Pax, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Man, I am happier than a hot hog in a cool puddle of mud. I'm just wallering all up in it, buddy. You had a pretty good matchup this past weekend. Tell me a little bit about your experience at Rolling the Cage 5.
I've had a cage fight before. Yeah.
He said tell you about your fight this past weekend. Well, what happened? Was he a good opponent?
Good opponent. He got me in that guillotine, and I was at that point. We've been working on our Von Flu, so just hit him with that.
Right on, man. Right on. What was it like to get that victory in front of that big crowd like that?
Fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Did you get all pumped up when I was yelling at your face? Yeah, a little bit? No? Okay. That's all right. You don't have to. But so what's next for Pax the Axe, man? What do you got going on after this?
What's it called again?
AGF
I have AGF and
and World League.
World League coming up.
Nice. Is your coach there with you? What up, James?
Hello.
Hey, we can talk to you too. You grappled as well.
Yeah, I can.
You guys got to grapple. Let me move this off the screen real quick so I could see your face as well. There we go. Oh man. Yeah, you guys both got to compete on the same card. Pax, what was it like to get to grapple on a card with your coach there too?
Fun.
Did you get to walk him out? Was you one of the ones that walked him out?
Yes.
Nice. I saw all those big hugs you guys gave him. You're real proud of your coach, huh?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's my man right there. Well, James, tell us a little bit about your match, man.
Yeah, I mean it was a great matchup. It was a fight that I wanted, and it was about as tough as I expected. Of course, Pete is a real strong guy, and yeah, he gave me that work, no doubt about it.
Awesome. Yeah, I was real proud of you and your whole camp, man. They like all the kids that you brought in, they were all really skillful and very well respectful,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So like
Yeah.
they put on a really good performance.
We hammered that home. Our number one thing right here, we want respect, we want honor, we want to be ambassadors for our sport, ambassadors for our gym, so that any event we go to, any venue that we're at, we always have a room full of friends, and that makes the away games feel like home games.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you guys really showed up and really put on a great performance at Rolling the Cage 5.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, we tried our best. I mean, we had hard fights, and that's the way we want it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And Pax landing that infamous Von Flu choke, man.
Yeah, well, and so side note here, that's one of my favorite chokes because we do wrestle a lot here. So from time to time, we will get our heads, our necks kind of stuck in there.
Mhm.
Love to get to side and hit that Von Flu choke, but no one from James White Fitness, adult or kid, has ever hit the Von Flu choke in competition until Pax did it. So,
First one.
first Von Flu, yeah.
First Von Flu in competition.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw that submission was during the was it Tough Enough or the Ultimate Fighter season 1,
Uh-huh.
and it was Jason Von Flu, the person it was named after, ended up landing that on in a match, and everybody was so confused as to how he ended up winning that.
Yeah. And now Oven St. Preux has hit like 4 of them in the UFC, and so now some people call it the St. Preux choke.
Yeah, it's starting to get a new name. Well, it's kind of like how I'm also renaming the rear naked choke the KV clutch for Chris Farine.
Is that right?
Yeah, because he landed like 5 or 6 in a row.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's getting so popular now that Wrangler Hicks, when he won his match this weekend via rear naked choke, somebody yelled from the audience, "KV clutch!"
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we came out to the fights that we came out. You talking about Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah, we came out to the fights and checked out some fights Saturday. So
That was fun.
yeah,
What was some of your favorite fights from Saturday?
Well, of course, Colton is a friend of mine. He's a kid who I've watched since his amateur days, and so anytime he's in town, anytime we can catch one of his fights, we like to do that. And we got to see him in a great fight. And of course, my wife Sam is always the loudest spectator at any event, so you can hear her voice over the commentators, over the entire, over everybody. So
Yeah.
hopefully that helps Colton to victory.
Right on, man. Yeah, Colton put on one great performance, man. He was one of my picks for fight of the night. I think he got my fight of the night pick. You know, with him and Tyson going back and forth the way they did, man, it was awesome. It was just awesome to just be able to witness that.
Yeah, Colton likes to hold himself out as a striker, but I think he's a lot better on the ground than he lets on. Sorry to let that secret out, but I guess everybody knows now since he rear naked choked that guy. But yeah, I mean, since I've trained with him before, and like I said, I consider him a friend. So
I was really impressed with how he controlled the ground positions like at every angle.
sure, yeah,
When as soon as it hit the ground, and Tyson, he's known as a striker too, but he's also no slouch on the ground either. So getting those guys together and seeing how dominant Colton was on the ground, man, that made all the difference in the world.
I saw Tom Schoaf and Bubba McDaniel in his corner, and that's one hell of a corner. I mean, that's both of those guys are legends, in their respective sports. Of course, Tom Schoaf, great bare knuckle boxer. Bubba
McDaniel, former UFC fighter and BJJ black belt in his own right.
So that was a good scrap.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So what's next for James White, man? What do you got around the corner? You going to AGF too?
Well, I'm gonna take some time to get trained up for IBJJF No Gi Pens in October and No Gi Worlds in December. Try to win that.
Awesome, man. Well, we wish you a whole lot of luck with that, man. You guys got anybody you want to give a shout out to before we hop off of here?
I'll tell you, we got to give a shout out to all our training partners, all these kids who are in the gym, all the adults that are in the gym helping us train every day. There's nothing we could do in the cage unless our training partners were kicking our butts daily. And so that's important. I told the kids just today, we just got finished with class. We got to be grateful for our training partners. My son is off screen begging me to give him a shout out. So shout out to Tristan Zinn.
There
he is. There he is.
Yeah. He, all things are possible through Tristan. So for running everything in the gym so that I can go and do jiu-jitsu.
Well, having the family there is I think one of the most important things, man. Family is everything, brother.
Yes, sir.
So I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and telling us about your experience with rolling the cage and raging the cage and all that jazz.
You did a fantastic job announcing, and did that. Yeah, great job.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's always great to see y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all down the road, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, Justin.
Hey, good luck on those other tournaments, and give them hell, guys.
We will. Thank you.
Later, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Pax. All right, guys. That was James White and Pax the Axe. Man, what a great group of guys we got there. They really came out, and his whole group of grapplers really came in and put on a great performance. They really showed a lot of fortitude, a lot of technique, a lot of skill, and class and respectfulness. Absolutely wonderful. As did every single grappler out there, man. They just I was really impressed with the quality of grappling matches I had for Rolling the Cage 5, as well as following it up, Rage in the Cage 88, all the quality matches we had there as well. So looking forward to that. Man, I wonder what's happened to my buddy James. I hope he's okay. I haven't heard from him. We need to everybody send James a message and be like, hey, are you okay? Find out if he's fine. He's probably driving and can't get a good signal, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Sometimes you just got work to do. But speaking of working, I got one of the hardest working people I know in the MMA world right now. He's putting in a lot of work, not just in the gym, not just in the fight camp, but also doing media, social media, marketing, trying to get his sponsors, doing all this stuff. This dude is putting in the work. I have a whole lot of respect for this guy, and he just came off of a 39-second TKO victory against Dan Weber this past Saturday at Rage in the Cage 88. Without further ado, please help me welcome the host of Drinking with the Outlaw himself, Keegan Davidson. Keegan, how are you doing, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, I am happier than a hot hog in a cool puddle of mud. I'm excited to have you, especially coming off of this this victory that you just. I just now saw that you needed 3 more minutes. I apologize for just bringing you. But
Oh no, you're
yeah,
fine.
man,
You're fine.
I was really excited, to see that you got this victory over Dan Weber. I was kind of nervous about that match because, for one, I like both of you guys. Um, you know, Dan was just coming off of a loss. You're on a hot streak, with win after win after win. So this was definitely a step up in your competition, but you ended up making short work of Dan, and I think the brevity of the match is what really caught everybody off guard. Not that you were, nobody thought that you were capable of such a thing. We just thought the match would have been a little bit more back and forth. But you really pulled it off, man. We were really like impressed, to say the least, with that finish. Tell us a little bit from your perspective, man. How that fight went down and all the things leading up to that.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously, like everybody said, it was a step up in competition. He's 4-1 or was 4-1. And so that was something I was definitely aware of. I knew that he had the purple belt in jiu-jitsu. That was another thing I was worried about. Not only that, but he's 6'2", he's long and lanky. So I know if I was going to use my wrestling or anything that there was a good chance I get caught. So we really went strike heavy. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, a lot of people think I'm a wrestler, but I want to throw hands. We're here for the fight game. So downstairs, me, my coach KV, and then one of my good friends, Malik, he was down there and we were all, practicing. And I cannot make this up. Everything that happened in the fight is what we were working on downstairs.
Wow. That is unusual how that works out. Like that very rarely works out in a fight where every single thing that you're practicing and that you're working on actually happens. So that's awesome. Tell us a little bit about who you had in your corner and all that jazz, man.
So I had 2 undefeated fighters. I had KV and Malik Lewis. They're 2 badass guys. Malik fights at lightweight. And then KV, obviously, he's welterweight. 2 great guys, very, very high leveled. And I'm grateful that I had them in my corner, and we're just going to keep on riding high.
Awesome. What's it like to train with those guys, man?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, especially since the way that they're able to talk to you and they make it easy for you to absorb information, and then they really take the time out to stop and go step for step to make sure you understand what's going on and understand the combos and understand why you're throwing what you're throwing and understand why you're getting hit. I mean, just the level that these guys are at, it's completely different. Not only in the actual fighting itself, but also helping with your mental training, making sure you're prepared mentally, and that everything's ready to go.
Hell yeah, hell yeah! You also had another teammate, Wrangler Hicks, on the card, and he ended up getting his first victory out of 4 fights. Tell us a little bit about the excitement from that aftermath.
Oh man, Wrangler's a bad dude, man. Don't sleep on Wrangler. If anybody starts in his name soon, his first piece there were unfortunate. In his last fight, caught an arm, escaping at the same. Is now we can to today with a few shots, but he came and did what he did, and obviously he's been taking notes from KV since he got that rear naked choke in there.
Absolutely. I was just telling Michael Hiltzman that it's kind of awesome hearing whenever somebody that's training the KV hit that rear naked choke and somebody from the audience goes, KV clutch. So you can see that Chris's legacy is rubbing off on all these fighters, and it's just absolutely amazing, man. Oh, I think you froze on us.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy, man, because he. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, cool. I mean, it's crazy because he genuinely cares about all that his name and that are connected to his name. I know whenever I first started, man, he used to beat the shit out of me day in, day out. But it came with the territory. He would always play me this James Krause clip. He was talking to some guys up in him, and he was to begin to do shit. He really pushes you and brings out the best in you and brings out that dog in you every time that you're around him. I mean, not only in fighting aspect, but you hang out with him outside of fighting. He just somehow brings the best out of you.
Absolutely. I can't say enough good things about it, man. So I do have to ask, what's next on the line for Keegan Davidson, man?
Well, I really wish this fight would have been for a title. I've heard a whole bunch of people say it should have been. I felt like it should have been, but that's not something I'm in control of. So that's kind of what I'm looking for next. I can't be denied anymore, and I don't know what else I have to do to get respect put on my name. So, I mean, a belt's where it's got to be.
I think you were in a time of limbo with the current incumbent champion still being at the amateur ranks, but I think he's about to go pro, and he hasn't exactly relinquished the title. So it was either match you against him, which I don't think he's trying to get another amateur fight, or wait for him to finally relinquish the title. So hopefully, I think he just announced that he's going to try to be going pro. Breakenden Freeman is who we're talking about, the current 155-pound Rage in the Cage amateur champion. He's going to be trying to go pro within the next month or so in August or whenever, and hopefully very soon you're going to be getting that vacant title to fight for. Looking at the competition, who do you think may be your upcoming opponent for that title, though?
Nobody. I think they just ought to strap it around my waist and give me a slap on the ass. Tell me good job.
I could do that. I'll be there. I'll help. I'll help you with that. I think you've kind of earned it so far. You've moved on to 4-0 in MMA. You're what are you 2-0 in kickboxing now?
1-0.
1-0. Okay, I thought you already had 2 for some reason. But yeah, man, you're on fire, man. You are on fire. You're doing something right. You're basically beating the whole world right now. When do you think you're going to be going pro? When do you see that in your future?
I haven't really thought a whole lot about it. I mean, and then to be completely honest, none of this was even a thought in my head until about 3 years ago, and I've just been kind of rolling with it. But now that we're starting to get these wins under our belt, I'm starting to get our names out there. A title shot. After I win that title, go pro after that and see where life takes me. But for right now, I got to focus on the next step. I don't know who's going to be in my way of that belt. I don't know when that time's going to come, but when it does, I'm going to show up and show out just like I always do.
Well, hopefully you didn't exhaust yourself too much in that long, grueling fight you just had this past Saturday. And I'm thinking you can hop in there a little quicker than you than we can expect. But Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to it, brother. I really think you are definitely the number one contender for that title, regardless of what anybody says. That's old Cool Breeze's pick right there. Um, but yeah, man, like sky's the limit for you, brother. Just keep working hard and keep pushing, man. You've got a bright future, brother.
And I appreciate that.
Hell yeah. Well, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Do you got anybody you want to give a shout out to
Yeah.
real quick?
Hey, so I had some sponsors and kind of forgot some. So I just want to go ahead and run through those real quick if you don't mind.
Please do.
I had thank you to Dexter's Laboratory, Neighbors First Insurance, Nature Wellness, Murray County Automotive and Tire, Neighbors First, and I'm sure I'm forgetting another one, but thank you to all my sponsors and thank you to all my fans for my podcast, my fighting. You guys are awesome.
You are awesome, brother. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. When's the next Drinking with the Outlaw? Who do you got?
I don't have anybody just yet. I've just been kind of enjoying the moment, trying to soak it all in. But hopefully we're gonna get somebody Sunday, somebody from the Rage card, and sit down and talk with them, see how their weekend went.
Awesome, awesome. Well, brother, it's always good to have you on the show. You're always welcome here. And for those of y'all watching at home, please check out Drinking with the Outlaw. He said he's going to have another show on Sunday. He'll announce that guest on his Facebook page. So please make sure you like and subscribe to all his stuff. And yeah, man, appreciate having you, brother. Stay cool, man.
Thank you for having me. You too, man.
All right, guys, that was the Outlaw Keegan Davidson. What a great match, man. He got literally the fastest TKO of the night, 39 seconds for his match against Dan Weber. You're not going to see the last of Dan Weber. He ain't done. Uh, I think he's ready to come back and he's going to come back with something to prove this next time. So it's going to be pretty interesting, man. Keegan Davidson, definitely. What do you guys think? Put it in the chat. Do you think Keegan Davidson deserves that number one contender spot? And if so, who in the 155-pound Rage in the Cage Oklahoma Regional Division do you think should be across the cage for him to challenge for a vacant 155-pound title if Brakenden Freeman chooses to vacate? I want to hear what your thoughts are, guys. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. Up next, I have the man who won the main event of the evening and was also my Cool Breeze's performance fight of the night pick. Colton Ham will be joining us, the young warrior himself. He's coming off of a round two uh, submission victory over Tyson Swisher Sweet Southern. Absolutely phenomenal fight. As I said in my performance picks of the night, man, you talk about a fight where both of these fighters showed a lot of grit, indomitable spirit, true determination, and absolute skill in that cage. And I couldn't have asked for a better main event, man. Up to that point, I had a couple of really good dog fights, man, that were up to fight of the night. And that one there, you had one fighter that's fighting through a broken hand, still not missing a beat. You had another fighter that's just dominating the ever-loving snot out of the ground game, and doing some very dynamic, innovative striking that remind me back of my old karate days with some good like question mark kicks, some hook kicks in there, like spinning back fist. I mean, just some really cool striking. It was awesome, man. And getting to watch that match was just like mind blowing of how awesome that fight was. So without further ado, please help me welcome the winner of that contest, the winner of the main event from Rage in the Cage 88, the main event himself, the young warrior, Mr. Colton Ham. Colton, how you doing, brother?
What's up, buddy?
Well, you got your family in the car with you?
Yeah, I got my youngest son. He's training for a grappling tournament this weekend.
All right, all right. Well, good luck to him, man. I hope he does well. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard.
Well, he's got both of them. He's been working hard.
Awesome, awesome. Well, brother, tell me a little bit about your experience. Okay, you're gone.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Okay, he's back. Hey, tell me a little bit about your experience from this past weekend, man. What was that match like for you?
Well, when I come out early, and I kind of thought it was gonna end early, but I'm glad it didn't, because I learned some things from the extra time I got to spend in there, and I'm grateful for that. Like, my leg's paying for it today, but I'm happy with the outcome, and I'm happy with the experience that I gained from it.
Absolutely. You guys, I mean, I swear to God, put on one of the most gritty technical performances of the night. What was there moments on there that like a little bit of doubt crept in your mind, or where you had to really dig down a little deeper to push through that adversity?
Well, so if you go back to my other fights, all the way to when I'm an amateur, probably 90% of my fights end in the first round, and it's because I haven't been patient. It's because I got this kill or be killed mentality. And I mean, I've been working my cardio, and I've been getting my resting heart rate down. So even after it goes up, if I can just buy some time, I can get it right back down, and I feel fresh. And that's what happened when I come back out in the second round. I felt good. I never had any doubt. The whole game plan was to be patient, don't force anything, and let the finish present itself. And I knew if I just exploited my game plan and was patient, I knew it would come to me at one point or another.
Well, you have a phenomenal ground game, and I think Colt, or I believe it was Keegan that was talking about how you've got that, or no, it wasn't Keegan. It was James White that was talking about how you've got an underrated ground game, and it's kind of like a secret that you have in your pocket. Like I was very impressed with how dominant you are with your positioning and control on the ground. That I think really made a huge difference in that whole fight.
Yeah, so a lot of people train to keep from being submitted by me, because early in my career I didn't know how to wrestle at all, and I would stand up with people because I like to stand up, and I would get put on my back so much I was forced to learn how to submit from my back, and it's slowly grown from that. But everybody, I feel like everybody kind of thinks of me as a ground guy, and I like to stand up. Like, when I heard that Tyson thought that, he said on a podcast that I didn't pose him no threat on the feet or something along those lines, and I had something to prove. I knew I could beat him on the ground, and that's not where I aimed to go. But if it went there, I knew that was the strength of it.
You had speaking of your striking, you had a lot of what I'm calling a lot of dynamic striking. You were attempted a question mark kick at one point. You did a hook kick that I think landed. You were trying a spinning back fist at one point. What was going on through your mind with what a lot of these people would consider a lot more flashier striking techniques?
Well, obviously the calf kick was working, and so my mind started to venture, what could I lead to from the calf kick, because he was getting better at checking it after the first one. So you have to make them threaten them with other things, even if it's not going to land. The hook kick across the face, the head kicks, or the question mark kick up to the head kick. You just it was really just a show, and if they landed, it was just a setup, all for the calf kick, really.
Nice. Well, brother, I was really impressed with your fight from this past weekend. What's next on the horizon for the young warrior Colton Ham?
Well, I have a baby due in September, so if I could squeak one more in before the baby gets here, that would be awesome, because I'm in great shape, and my leg's a little banged up, but I'm planning on getting right back in the gym tomorrow and staying in shape. So I'm hoping the end of July, maybe early August. So, and I just want to build my record back and get back to the Bellator level.
Okay. You with this victory, you were able to even out your record of 5-5. That's really impressive to do. Not a lot of fighters are able to, come back and get that, especially against tough opponents like that. Get that record back even. It's basically you're starting off at a, you know,
Ground
an even
zero.
playing field. Yeah, ground zero. But this time starting with a lot more experience. You got 10 fights under your belt as a pro. I'm not sure how many you have as an amateur as well, but with all that experience, getting to start, kind of at an even playing field here. What do you see as you know what do you consider your future here? Like, where do you want to go with it? I know you and I talked on the pre-fight interviews how you were going to see how this fight goes and potentially look at retiring before too long, but I don't really see that in your future, man. You got a lot of skills and it seems like you've got a lot of fire and desire, built up inside you.
I just I feel like I jumped in front of the train too much early. Like I just I had no fear, and I see these guys on the next level, and all 5 of my losses are to outstanding fighters, and a few of them I'd like to get back, but maybe just jump the gun before I was ready. I maybe should have built it a little bit. I feel like I should build my record a little bit more, maybe 8-5, 9-5, and then jump back in front of and then I go beat an amazing prospect. One of my wins, and I really think it's what caused me to jump the gun so much, was Nick O'Brien. I think he was 8 or 9-1 as an amateur, and I came out and knocked him out when I was 1-1, I believe, and he was 1-0, and I just felt unstoppable. It kind of made me feel untouchable, and I just was ready to fight anybody. So I think I want to build back up. I don't want to take easy fights or weak fights, but I want to take more manageable fights on a more local stage.
Okay.
And then I want to prove myself on the big stage.
Right on, right on. Keegan Davidson is asking this question online. It says, "What advice would you give for a young fighter such as himself?"
Oh man. So I mean, he got the quick knockout. My knockout was late in the first round. I never got a knockout like that as an amateur, but I did always come out and try to finish things early. So as an amateur, just as an amateur, as an early amateur, get as much time in the cage as possible. I'm not saying don't finish the fight if the opportunity's there. Don't play with your food. But if you have a chance to be in the cage, get comfortable in there, because before you go pro, you want a couple wars. You want to be dragged into deep waters and understand what that's like. You want to understand what a 3 or a 5, even a 5-round fight's like. 15 minutes in the cage.
Right on, right on. That's damn good advice, man. Damn good advice. So you're looking at the end of July possibly. When did you say the baby was due?
September 16th. So I'm hoping before she gets too close.
Yeah. Do you know if it's a boy or girl yet, or is that still a surprise?
Yeah, it's a boy.
It's a boy? Oh man,
Yeah.
what you gonna name the boy?
It's on me. Achilles.
Achilles
Noah Wade.
Wow, I like it. That's a hell of a name, man. That is going to be a stud boy right there.
Oh yeah, I have 4 older brothers.
Got you a whole basketball team then, huh?
Oh yeah, we got a basketball team for sure, but they're probably not nice enough to play basketball.
That's okay. They can all grapple. They can all get into the
For
MMA stuff. Well, hell yeah, man. So who do you think could be on your horizon on who to fight next?
I don't know. I've already had 3 or 4 offers. I hate to say it, but this is probably 3 or 4 fights down the road if he hasn't been picked up by a bigger organization. And I like the hell out of the kid. I even wear his gloves, but I always thought me and Eric Mercado would be a super interesting fight.
Ooh. Ooh, I would love to see that match.
Oh man, but hey, I didn't really know him before, and man, he's a super nice kid. I love the shit out of that kid. So there's no disrespect or no shit talking, but like I said, I can't just be going and fighting the 6-1, the 10-0 guys until I prove myself some more. I feel like.
Right on, right on. Yeah, Eric Mercado's definitely an up and coming superstar in the game, just like Chris Vereen. You know, these guys, you're going to be seeing them on these big shows before too long, man.
For sure,
And I'm
sure.
hoping to see you up there too, man. You
Yeah,
you came back and evened out that record this weekend, and it's just uphill from here, man.
100%.
Absolutely. Well, brother, I'm not going to keep you for too long. I know you got your family there. I got a lot of stuff I think I'm going to go ahead and go do as well. But I appreciate you taking your time. And you want to give a shout out to any friends, family, sponsors, teammates, or anything?
Yeah, I gave most of the shout outs in the ring, but thanks to God, because it's all not even capable without him. So thank the Lord.
Outstanding. Well, brother, take care of that beautiful family of yours. Thank you again for your performance this weekend. Thank you for coming on the show. What's up, kiddo? We're happy for you, man, and we look forward to seeing what's next in the future for Colton Ham, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Stay cool, brother.
All right, see you later.
Later, little man. Good luck on that tournament. All right, guys. Y'all just heard from Colton, the young warrior Ham. Man, that's kid's got a bright future, man. He's got 10 professional fights under his belt. He's 5-5 right now. So he's it's going to be interesting to watch his career blossom from here, man. Tyson Southern, he's going to be coming back strong as well. You know that. Looking forward to what's next from him. When his hand heals up, he had a broken right hand. Yeah, man, it's just there's a lot of a lot of things coming from this past fight card. That fight between Colton Ham and Tyson Southern, if you have not gone to watch it, go onto the Fight TV app, download that, and pay for that fight. That is a fight worth your money right there. Definitely want to watch that. That's going to be one of those fights that I think for both of those fighters is going to be one of those memorable matches that you will definitely be a catalyst for future fights in this industry. So looking forward to seeing what's next from everybody there. Well, I'm not going to keep this show going on for too long. I'm hoping to check in with my buddy James and make sure he's okay. His phone went to voicemail when I was first trying to start this show, and I haven't been able to get a hold of him. So hopefully he's doing all right. I was able to talk to him yesterday, but haven't heard from him since. But yeah, man, we love having everybody there at the fights, watching these shows. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate all your support. If anybody wants to advertise on these shows, please hit me up. Get in my DMs, and we'll talk about it. We'll make you guys some commercials and do all kinds of really cool stuff with that. Yeah. I believe the next Rage in the Cage is going to be on August 20th at the farmers market, and we're going to see how that fight card starts getting built pretty soon. They've got a lot more action coming up as well this weekend. Here, I should be down in Houma, Louisiana, with a good buddy of mine, Marvin Babe, who's going to be fighting Ricky Foles in what I believe is both of their retirement fights, man. So the bulldog is turning into an old dog, man. So I'm gonna be in his corner for his last fight. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Good friend of mine, and it's great to be able to go and support my buddies on especially their last match, man. Tune in next week. We're going to be talking some more about some upcoming MMA events, I believe. I will let you guys know more in the Talk Before the Walk Facebook page with the updates there. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe all of our channels to the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, all that jazz. The more likes and subscriptions we can get, I believe the YouTube channel, my goal right now is to get 100 subscriptions. If we can get that, I'm able to change the URL for the YouTube channel to where it's going to be easier to search for. So if you can help us out, give us a subscription on that. Hit that little notification button on the side so that way you can be updated with all of our cool content that we're bringing out. We got some cool gaming content, MMA sports content, boxing content, all kinds of stuff. We should be putting on some pro wrestling stuff as well before too long. So we got a lot of cool stuff, man. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I've been your host, Cool Breeze Justin Christie, and absent right now, El Papichulo, James Shelnut. Send him a message and bombard him just because it'd be funny. Try to make sure he's okay. Just tell him I'm sending the search party, and we'll do that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate y'all. Y'all stay cool and have a good summer.